there is a way to be truly and authentically grateful, even for some of the bad things that might happen to you in life. And the way that works is by starting with a general gratitude practice. Okay, you gotta work the muscle. And the way I have integrated this gratitude practice in my life is that at the end of every day, as soon as my body hits the bed, as soon as my skin feels the soft blanket or the soft mattress or the pillow or whatever, my brain now literally kicks into saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it looks like, thank you that my skin is touching something soft. Thank you that I have a blanket. I have something to cover my body with when I sleep. Thank you that it gets dark enough for me to fall asleep. So what I've done here is I've anchored this gratitude practice, this chorus, this shouting of thank you in my brain to something that I am physically doing every single day, which is getting into my bed. You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing when you're getting into bed. You can do the same thing with coffee in the morning. Thank you for this cup of coffee. Thank you that coffee beans grow. Thank you that somebody has harvested the coffee beans and put them into a bag and that I'm able to buy them. So you see, every single thing that you're saying thank you for, that has a source. And then there's a source underneath that and a source underneath that. So if you just think in those lines, what starts as one bit of gratitude quickly evolves into 10, 20 different levels of gratitude, things that you are saying thank you to, things that you are grateful for. Now you notice that you're focused on different things. You're not focused on the crummy parts of the day, the disappointments of the day. Your brain is literally focusing on something else. And that is a brand new perspective. That is going to shift your mood. That's going to shift your awareness, your feelings, your emotions quite literally. So that is the first step. The ancient philosophers, the Stoics, the Greeks, the Romans, they have taught us to try to foster an attitude of indifference, being indifferent towards indifferent events. And part of what that means is understanding that us thinking something is bad, us thinking something is negative is a perception. And if it is controlled by fate or by nature, by the universe, it is neither good nor bad. It is indifferent. It simply is. But the truth of the matter is, it's quite hard to think that way. It's not intuitive to our everyday life to view damn near everything as an indifferent event. So I get it, like that is hard. And here's one practice that I've done to really help me with it that feels more intuitive than trying to view everything as indifferent, as neither positive nor negative. So I think about what can never be taken away from me, right? It's things like a ton of money, popularity, all of that. It could be quite fickle. Could be up to other people, chance, some luck, fate, whatever you want to call it. It's not entirely up to me. And those types of things can be taken away from me. One thing that cannot ever be taken away from me and that can never be taken away from you is your past, actually. My past cannot be changed. It cannot be taken away from me. And in thinking about it that way and in choosing to value things that can never be taken away from me, that are not subject to fate, doesn't that shift even your perspective on your past? So if like somebody walks up to you and were to slap you right in the face, it might be hard in that moment to view that as an indifferent thing, right? Which I totally get. But if you understand that experience of being slapped in the face is something that can now never be taken away from you, I respond to it a little bit differently. I quickly reframe it and have a different perspective on it, a bit more of an evolved one. One of, okay, instead of me devolving to that level, right? Me having some sort of empathy or poise or even taking like a just view on it, or even just being able to let it go, being able to disregard it. All of those reactions are things that also can now never be taken away from me if I've decided to hold myself to that standard and operate in that way. So how quickly can this actually become things that I am grateful for? I am grateful for my poise in this challenging situation of randomly being slapped in the face, which of course is a metaphor, right? For the things in life that feel like we are being slapped in the face. I am grateful for my poise in this situation. I am grateful for my ability to breathe, like literally my physiological breath. I am grateful for that. I'm grateful that I'm able to pause. I am grateful that I did not get swept away in the chaos of that moment. Now we're shifting here. Now we're shifting from being focused on the crummy external circumstance that has befallen us we're shifting to focusing on our inner resiliency, our inner poise, our inner ability to choose how we respond to this situation. And for me, the linchpin to shifting that focus is, hey, what has just occurred is something that cannot be taken away from me. And if I'm deciding to value that which cannot be taken away from me, I am going to view this experience in a completely different light, right? I no longer want it to be something different because I understand that it can't be. And that sort of willing is futile. And it's much more productive to will what is. Whatever is what I will it to be. Therefore, how am I going to act? So your past is something that is fundamentally a part of you. It cannot be taken away from you. It is something you can look at and find those pockets of, well, I'm grateful for that lesson. I'm grateful for the way that this molded me. I'm grateful for the way I got through this challenging thing. And I'm grateful for the depth of experience and perspective that I have now, because this is part of the unique tapestry of my life. And you wouldn't be who you are without that amalgam of experiences. And these are the practices and these are the muscles that I swear to God, the more you work them, because sometimes it does take conscious effort and sometimes it's not intuitive to think this way. But the more you make the conscious choice, again, these are all conscious choices. The more you make these conscious choices, the more you will naturally begin to find gratitude in the quote unquote bad things, and the less you'll even perceive them as bad. You will start to perceive them as opportunities. You will start to perceive them as learning lessons. You will start to perceive them as stories you could tell. I mean, if a stranger walked up to you and slapped you in the face, you have an incredible story to tell. And the more you practice embracing life in that way, the deeper and richer your experiences of life are going to be.